1 minute, 1 minute. Oh, almost 1 minute. All right. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 3, and roll it. Let's get this thing rolling. We're rolling, rolling, rolling. How about we get rid of this for right now? All right, let me get this fixed up here. Here we go, folks. Well, welcome to another day with Waylon. I am your host, Waylon. I am the official ambassador of Carnival Cruise Line. I am giving myself that title. How you folks doing out there today? All right, hope you're having a wonderful day. It is Tuesday night cruise talk, Tuesday night live. We are going to talk Carnival Cruise news, what's going on, hurricanes, some news happening with Carnival Cruise Line, and we're going to look at some stupid questions at the end of this show. Yeah. So let's start off. Look, I am a personal vacation planner in training, which training starts this Monday, coming up July 8th. I will be learning how to book cruises with Carnival. I used to do travel agency in the back in the day, a couple years ago, and I went up doing other stuff. And I am now going to be a personal vacation planner with Carnival Cruise Line. So in the future here, I'll be posting things where you will be able to book directly with me, families, big groups, whatever you want. So, but today we're going to get started with, oh, my camera's got to focus there. We're going to get started with this hurricane stuff. So let's get this pulled up here. Let's see. Oh, right there. Looks good. Hurricane Beryl, whatever you want to call it. Actually, I'm going to make this the full screen. Here we go. So as you can see, we got us a good hurricane. It got up to a category. So this is from AccuWeather. This was probably early this morning. I don't see the exact time on it. Not sure. I know it got up to a category 5. Oh, there it is at about category 5. This is a strong hurricane. I believe it is starting to weaken as we speak over the night. This, as I was listening to them earlier today, they did mention that it was starting to kind of wobble. So we'll see. Now it does have a projected path going over Jamaica into the Mexican Peninsula, the Yucatan Peninsula, and into the Bay of Campeche. So you're looking at getting to the Yucatan Peninsula for Friday morning, which should be on Cozumel. Now they're saying it's going to be a one or tropical depression or storm by the time it does get to Cozumel. Um, so we're going to see what happens with that. It is going to weaken as it gets to the peninsula, and then after it gets through the peninsula, they are saying possibly to Mexico, to the Texas Mexican border, or maybe into Texas. It all depends on that high pressure. Let me come down here real quick and I'm going to show you real quick. I'm not a meteorologist by any means, but I do know some a little about this because if you look right here, you see that big H, on top of Louisiana and Arkansas. That's that high pressure, and you see it goes in a it goes in a clockwise motion. So once that storm hits that, it usually follows that path, so it'll wrap it around that high pressure. It's all going to depend on where that high pressure is by the time them two meet, the high pressure and the storm. If that high pressure is further to the east, it's going to follow it up. If that high pressure kind of sits where it's at right now, it's just going to go straight to Lake Mexico, maybe the lower portion of Texas, right? Now, anyway, you see it's going to affect the Gulf of Mexico. Let me go back up here. Let's go back right here. We'll show this picture here. So any way you look at it is going to affect the Caribbean, the Western Caribbean, and the Gulf of Mexico. If you're going to Jamaica, Cozumel, Progreso, Costa Maya, Grand Cayman, you know, if you're coming on a ship out of Galveston, out of New Orleans into those areas, you may be affected. And we're going to look at that in just a minute here. I'll show you an update from Carnival as to anything that's been affected. But as of right now, they're saying not really affecting anything because of the way their itineraries are running right now. But keep an eye on it just in case if you're coming up on a cruise anytime soon. Even if it's not Carnival, even if it's on another brand ship, just like I always say, keep in contact with Carnival, keep in contact with whoever you booked with, like a personal vacation planner like myself or a travel agent, and keep in touch with Carnival themselves. And watch for those emails, watch for the updates, just in case itineraries and stuff change, thing changes. Keep an eye on it, and also keep an eye on this. There's a storm right behind it. They're not predicting that storm to really develop into anything big, but that storm can still affect your cruise if you're going into those areas. So that thing will hopefully it'll fizzle out and won't do anything greatly to affect. And I seen what happened in Grenada. Grenada, it didn't get it got hit really hard. Category 4 went straight over Grenada. I think they said the whole eye was inside the island or Grenada was inside the whole eye. It's kind of crazy. They got hit really hard. You look at the devastation over there. So hopefully, fingers crossed, the Jamaica, the Grand Caymans, Cayman Islands, even it's just south of Dominican Republic and Cuba and everything. So hopefully they'll be okay. Hopefully Jamaica will be okay. Hopefully, getting into Cozumel, even Belize will probably get some effects from this. Progreso, Costa Maya, all those places. Hopefully, all those areas make it safely through this. So that is your update for Hurricane Beryl. Um, here we go. It sucks. It is that time of season. It is really early in the season right now. It is really, really early. They said this is the first time in history that a Category 4 or a Category 5, which it has been both, this is the first time in history that has happened this early in the hurricane season, right? Usually this happens late August into September, going into October. September and October are your big hurricane seasons. All your big hurricanes on record, like your Katrinas and your Idas, the big devastations, those always come at the very end of August into September. Oh, lost focus. Lost focus. Um, yeah, so this is really, really early for these hurricanes, especially these strong hurricanes that is to be coming. But you know what? Hey, it happens, and we'll roll with it, right? So just pay attention to what's going on out there and stay safe. Like I tell you again, the captains of these ships are going to do, even Carnival themselves, they're going to do everything they can to not put you in harm's way. I'll bring back the story. If I was on a ship years and years ago when we were heading back to New Orleans from Progresso, and there was a hurricane right behind us. Um, I felt safe the whole time on a boat, but that ship was a rocking. If the ship's a rocking, don't come a knocking. That was the first time and only time I've ever been seasick on a cruise ship. That's how rough it was. I usually never get sick. I've been on many, 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 many cruises. I never get sick, and that was the first and only time I've ever been seasick. So they're going to do everything to try to keep you safe. God, I keep losing focus. So they're going to do everything they can to try to keep you safe. All right. So just real quick again. There's your projected path. It's got a beeline straight for Jamaica right now. Should be about probably category 3, I think they say, when it hits Jamaica. Hopefully not too much damage. Hopefully they're prepared. I know they're preparing. So and then it should weaken. It should start weakening, and by the time it gets to the Yucatan Peninsula, which is your Cozumel and Progreso and Costa Maya, possibly Belize, but I think it's going to be way north of Belize, so Belize may not be affected by this at all. And also depends on the shift. Which way is it going to keep going? West? Is it going to go northwest? Is it going to dip a little bit south? So we don't know yet. We're probably going to get that kind of update on Thursday. So just pay attention, and I just keep reiterating it. Just keep in contact with Carnival or whatever cruise line you're with. Keep in contact with them, or keep in contact with your personal vacation planner or your travel agent, whoever's doing your bookings, and watch out for all those emails and updates that are going to be coming your way if you're on a cruise that may be affected by this. Ports that you sail out of from the United States that have the high probability of being affected are Galveston, because Galveston is right there in Texas. Maybe New Orleans because of their sailings, the way they sail out of there. Um, any of the cruise ports that are going into the Western Caribbean. So just keep an eye out. That's it. Um, so, man, I know y'all seen this in the news, not news, but if you're online and looking at Carnival, Carnival happening, Carnival updates, or just cruising in general, and you're looking at all these updates, you're going to see that it's not a good sight for Carnival that they had this big brawl on on their shit. Um, let's see where did I put it at? Oops, I'm trying to find it. I lost it, didn't I? Did I lose it? Give me a second here. I'm trying to look for this thing I had. Here it is, right here. Let's see. Let me share this tab with you here. All right, let me go through this. Brawl on a Carnival Paradise. So just this paragraph here, let me read this to you. The Carnival Paradise based in Tampa was returning to its home port when the incident occurred in the Lido Deck dining room. A passenger trying to get pizza filmed the whole incident, capturing chairs being thrown and plates flying across the room. The exact reason for the fight is unclear, but it involved a group of women shouting obscenities and talking and basically tackling each other. So after a few minutes, security intervened to break up the fight. However, the aftermath left the dining room team with a massive mess, including broken plates, glass, and food all over the floor for the service team to clean up. It was just crazy. The altercation was posted on TikTok, and let's see, Carnival Paradise. A security team intervened in an incident that took place on June 6th. So this took place on June 6th on the Carnival Paradise, which is based out of Tampa. They don't tolerate that behavior. Guests involved were fined and will not sail on. I know that they have been banned for life from Carnival. We should have fight about on a cruise earlier. So and Carnival does have policies about this. Here it goes. The company states, we want to have a memorable vacation, but please remember a cruise ship is a shared space. Our Carnival values underscore that everyone should feel welcome and included, and that everyone on board demonstrate care and respect towards others. Our experience has taught us that everyone has a better time when children are supervised. Noise in the hallways is kept to a minimum, guests follow cues, and that a spirit of community and neighborliness is shown by all. Consistent with our commitment to safety, disruptive behavior is not tolerated, and any guest whose conduct affects the comfort, enjoyment, safety, and well-being of our other guests or crew will be disembarked at their own expense and banned from sailing on Carnival in the future. So Yeah, not good, not good to say the least. There's always going to be bad apples out there. It sucks, man. Let's get focused back on. Um, you expect adults to be. I'm trying to get this focus back. Adults to be adults, but when alcohol gets involved, um, it, this is embarrassing. Um, it's uncalled for. It's really uncalled for, and it's very childish. Those are adults. Um, I know they were banned now from Carnival, which I heard somebody say earlier on another video that there should be some kind of a database, kind of like the airlines do, where it's a no cruise list. If you get banned from one line, you're banned from all lines because stuff like this can't happen. It stuff like this is just like when you're raising a child, or you're the boss of a big group, right? If you let one person get away with something one time, more and more and more people are going to start doing it and expecting to kind of get away with it all the time, and that's what's just happening, right? A $500 fine and a ban, it's really just a slap on the wrist. They're not doing anything to solve this. I think it definitely needs to be banned. Listen, there should be hefty fines, not $500. I'm talking about some hefty fines, some jail time. Why not? You know, they're putting other people in danger, not just themselves, by doing this. Broken glass, all of it, and equipment and stuff being thrown. It's just ridiculous. It's very ridiculous. You know, I know I'm trying to get the camera to focus here. I know people want to go and enjoy themselves. They drink, they act stupid. Yeah, I get it sometimes, but you got to be an adult. You got kids around there. What happened if a little kid was there while the women were throwing them chairs and they hit that little kid and hurt that little kid? You're about to start a whole nother mess, right? Um, it's a shame that stuff like this happens, but it does happen. Something needs to be done. That needs to be heftier. Definitely a ban, but I think it needs to be a list, and you share it with all the cruise lines. Hey, I'm just Carnival, right? I like to promote Carnival, but you got your Royal Caribbeans, Norwegian Cruise Lines, Virgin Cruise Lines, the new Margaritaville, right? Why not make a list and like a ban? You're banned from cruising ever if you're involved in some stuff like this. That and the drugs, things like that. So, Carnival does get a black eye from this because it gets in the news a lot. But a lot of people, it's because there's a lot of people that cruise Carnival. If you ever go on a Carnival cruise, it's packed and sold out. Like damn near every cruise, summer, winter, it doesn't matter. It's always sold out. So when you got that many people, um, it's bound to happen. It happens on all cruise lines. It seems more not on Carnival, but you can't just say that. It happens on all cruise lines. So I don't know. What do y'all think about that? What do you think? I think heftier fines, definitely. Jail time, I think, yes. Jail time, heftier fines, jail time, and a no cruise list that's um, brand wide, like not just Carnival, but like all the cruise lines. They make this list. Like you have a no fly list, you have a no cruise list. I think it's a good idea. What do you guys think about it? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But let's move on to our last segment for today. And I know I don't have many live viewers. I'm just starting this live thing, so I'm really not expecting viewers just yet. But in the future, if I have viewers and y'all want to spout out questions, comments, feel free, just throw it in there. And at the end, I'll try to answer what I can. I'll try to say hellos and salutations to anyone that's in here. So yeah, I'll see y'all will catch this on playback once it's over with. Well, I've got a new thing right here, and I'm gonna pull this up here. Where am I at? Oh, here we go. My section on Tuesday, stupid cruise questions. Stupid questions, right? So I looked on the internet today, right? I found two. Just let's throw it up here, and I mean, you're probably gonna laugh and think, what the hell are these people thinking? So the first one I found, check this out, right? I have an outside cabin. Will I get wet if it rains? You have an outside. Well, first off, what's an outside cabin? You have a balcony, or do you have an ocean view? What's an outside cabin? Now, listen, I'd make fun of you if this is an ocean view room and you're asking if you're going to go wet because, oh, my camera keeps unfocusing. If you have an ocean view room, you got to get it focused. Focus. Um, yeah. Do you really think you can open up that window if you have an ocean view room? It's a porthole. It's a window or a porthole. Like, no, you cannot open that window. Okay, there's no that thing's thick. You cannot. Now I ain't gonna lie. My very first cruise, I had an ocean view room, and we hit some rough seas, and the water was coming up because we were all the way at like deck two or something like that, the Riviera or something like that, and the water was coming above the window, and it kind of freaked me out. But you're fine, right? But this question, I have an outside cabin. Will I get wet if it rains? How you gonna get wet if you're inside? How you gonna get wet if you're inside? Yeah, listen, if you got a balcony, okay. You go outside and it rains, you're gonna get wet unless you have an umbrella. Come on, man. Come on. Like, really? Really, 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 really. Oh my goodness, right? And we're gonna look at this last one here. And for my seasoned cruisers, you're gonna get a kick out of this one. How do I know which photos I'm on? So if you've never been on a cruise, listen. If you've never been on a cruise, just look at the question. How do I know which photos are mine? Well, obviously it's going to be the one that you're not in, right? Is this? Ooh, is this my photo? Wait, is that me in there? That's not. Is that me? Is that me with my wife? Hey, is that me? I don't know. Is that my photo? If you've never been on a cruise, Carnival Cruise Line, you will have pictures taken. Click, 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 right? Everywhere on a ship, anywhere. You don't have to pay for it, right? Let them take your picture. You don't have to pay for it. Okay. There's going to be a gallery, and you'll find it because it's big. It's going to be a gallery. You go through all. You have walls full of pictures that you're going to have to find your picture. Okay. How do you know it's yours? Well, obviously you're going to be in it, or the people you're with are going to be in it. That's how you know it's yours. I couldn't believe this question when I saw it. I was looking, I was looking, I wanted to do this little segment, stupid questions, and I found this, and I'm like, oh, you can't be serious. Somebody actually asked this question. How do I know which photos are mine? But listen, I understand people get excited sometimes at their first cruise. They don't know what's going on, so I kind of get it. I kind of get it. So, folks, that is the show for today. Hurricane update. Pay attention to Hurricane Beryl, whatever it's called. Pay attention. Um, One last thing I forgot I wanted to show you. Let me find it here. I have an update. We have an update. I'm going to bring it up here. Okay. So let me read this to you. Unlike Royal Caribbean, Carnival Cruise Line is not proactively changing itineraries, and many of the ships are not in the path of the storm. The 130 gross ton Carnival Dream, for example, which set sail from Galveston on June 29th, is in Key West, Florida. Look, Florida's not affected at all, and will continue its course to Freeport, Half Moon Cay, and Nassau, Bahamas before heading home July 7th. So look, because their itinerary, the Carnival Dream is okay. They're away from the storm, and they're not even gonna. Now they should be back home heading July 7th, so the storm will be passed by them. So they should be okay. They may catch some storms here and there, but nothing bad. So similarly, the Carnival Magic, which left Miami on June 29th, which was just a few days ago, it is nearing the Virgin Islands and will travel to Phillipsburg, San Juan, and on Puerto Plata, Amber Cove, Dominican Republic after the storm passes. So it's in the clear. It's not going to be affected by that. They'll probably catch some stormy weather and stuff like that, but it's not going to be anything bad. The Carnival Jubilee is currently in Cozumel on a 7-night Western Caribbean voyage. The 182,800 gross ton ship will arrive in Costa Maya and Roatan on July 2nd and 3rd, which today is the 2nd, tomorrow is the 3rd, ahead of the storm, and it will return to Galveston on July 6th. So it is going to outrun that storm, and yes, it will outrun the storm. Now, this ship right here, the Carnival Jubilee, it is one of Carnival's newest ships, and it is big. It is huge, right? It will outrun that storm. Now they may catch some, like on a cruise I had when I outran a hurricane. They'll probably catch a little rough seas, but they'll be all right. And a Carnival Paradise that's sailing from Tampa, Florida, is currently in Roatan and will call on Cozumel July 2nd, which is today, be returning home July 4th. They're going to go around. They're going to probably go north of the storm and come around to get back home, which they should be all right. And they'll probably catch a little bit. So the worst of it is going to be the Carnival Jubilee heading back home. They're probably going to catch some rough seas. So John Hill, Carnival Cruise Line's brand ambassador, said the Fleet Operations Center, the ship's captains, and the Beards all work together on this. They will never make any itinerary changes days in advance. That's because we want to try and give guests the cruise they book so they track the path of the storm and wait as long as possible safely, of course, before making any changes. However, the Carnival Liberty is the only ship making adjustments. Having departed New Orleans on July 30th, on July, I think they meant June 30th, is reversing orders. Yeah, they meant to put June 30th. So the Carnival Liberty out of New Orleans departed on June 30th, is reversing the order of its port of calls to avoid the storm. It is now visiting Cozumel on July 3rd, which is tomorrow. Then it's going to go to Belize on July 4th, which is way south of the storm, so they should be all right. And Roatan, which is right there by Belize, on July 5th. So they're going to dodge that storm. They are probably going to catch some weather, but they're going to dodge the storm. And then they're going to shoot back up to New Orleans from Roatan, and they should be all right. So really, the only one that's really going to catch a lot of um, where's it at? Where's it at? The only one that's going to catch anything is the Jubilee. The Jubilee out of Galveston. They may get some rough seas heading back home. That's it. And they'll be all right. So as of right now, you've seen it here. I pulled this off of Cruise Hive on the internet. Um, they're not making really any changes. So they, because of the way all their itineraries are and the way the storm is going, they're good. And like the only itinerary was the Liberty out of New Orleans, which is they're going to reverse the order of the cruise ports. And just keep in mind that anything can change at any time. Okay. So, folks, thanks for joining me today. Um, if you ever have any questions, concerns, comments, send them over. Like, subscribe, and share, please. I want to get this channel going. Do some cruise news, cruise updates, and I'm gonna throw some topics out here. So y'all stay safe, and I'll see y'all later.